Good afternoon. My name is Elvis Minaya, and did you know that in 2017 we had 1,981 cyclist accidents? 1,981 people who were either injured or died. That could be our mothers, wives, husbands or fathers, or sons or daughters. If this doesn't scare you, then you are wrong. Imagine one day, little Johnny goes on a bike ride to school one morning, and he comes home in a body bag. This is the horror that many Americans face every year, in fact, every day. And the simple solution is to enforce bicycle laws by providing more funding to bicycle lanes and bicycle safety. The fact that people will always ride bicycles is inevitable. And in the world we live in, simply banning the use of bicycles is not only irrational, but it is also unfair. When bicycle lanes were introduced in Holland before it was adopted by America, its sole purpose was to make bike travel safer and to clear up traffic congestion. But as the years progressed and cars became more popular, this safety issue became more apparent. In the 1970s, America decided to adopt the idea of bicycle lanes and started mandating that metropolitan areas have bicycle lanes to make bicycle travel safer. Well, at the time, things like signals and intersection signs were not thought of. So that was the first major safety concern. To add to these bicycle lanes, they were very poorly maintained. Now, I know what you're thinking. Elvis, that was in the 1970s. Surely things have gotten better. Well, that's where you're wrong. Over the years, cars have been populating our cities and streets more and more. Cars present a very serious hazard to cyclists. Things like drivers carelessly opening their doors while parked as cyclists ride past them, and people not looking both ways before they make turns into an intersection, or potholes that linger in every city street waiting for their next victim. Why don't the cyclists just swerve out of the way, you ask? Well, that would be the logical thing to do, but that would mean they would have to risk getting a fine from the city police for breaking the law. Many argue that cyclists and cars just shouldn't share the same road, and I totally agree with them. Let me tell you why. We should have designated bike lanes with traffic rails and traffic lights, safety, and specifically for cyclists. It would be safer for them, and it would also eliminate them as distractions to drivers. Now, one study shows that 89% of bike-car accidents happen during turning at intersections. And the reason for this is because according to the Bicycle Federation of America, fewer than 5% of cyclists actually qualify as experienced or highly skilled riders. So that leaves the other 95% in harm's way. Well, I say we ought to put an end to this and raise our safety standards for everyone who is still with us and for the generations to come. So that is our first order of business, so that our children can ride safely in the street and not have to worry about getting hit by a car. And the first thing we need to do as citizens is write a letter to our congressman expressing our concern for this issue that has taken many lives from us. Together, we can make a difference. And once that is done, we can start working on the construction of our new bike paths in all of our neighborhoods. Finally, the most important step, we must teach people how to be safe when riding a bicycle. We can take every precaution to make things safer, but if we don't educate people how to be safe, then all of our efforts will be in vain. So if you're not a cyclist, think of those who do ride a bicycle and think of their friends and families. Maybe they're your friends, because you never know. One day, they could be injured or dead due to a bike-related accident. Let's make the world around us safer. You and me, together.